Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Tony Boutros speaking. I'm going to be talking about information therapy or information technology. Now I specialise in things that a lot of people don't talk about, so this is really needed. The information here is really needed because this is basically the missing link. Everything we do has information, excuse me. And if we don't give our DNA the right information, then this is where we get problems with our health. And this is the issue with our atmosphere today, and our atmosphere in our home and outside. There's a lot of chemicals, there's a lot of radiation, and there's a lot of wrong information for the DNA. So what is it? What is information therapy or technology? And how does it work? Well, for a start, cellular health today is lacking the right information. We seem to have, instead of food and medicine out of the garden, we have food and medicine made in a lab. And in some cases, this is giving our DNA the wrong information. Our DNA needs the right information to pass on to the RNA to make healthy tissues. Okay, so whatever information you're giving your body or your DNA, it's passing that information onto the RNA, which is the foreman or does the work to make the healthy protein or tissue. So it can only make cells or tissues with what information you feed it. And I'm not just talking about food. I'm talking about the whole lifestyle. And look, none of us are perfect, but I'm just giving you this good information so you can be equipped to do what you like with it and go as far as you want. Now, how do we get information? First of all, you've got the cell. This picture on your left, a round circle, you've got the beautiful cell membrane, which is 90% fat, and you've got proteins and glycoproteins or glyconutrients. So that cell membrane has to be pretty healthy to receive the right information, because what you have on your cell membrane, if you can see there, is like gates or receptor sites. And these receptors open and shut to let molecules or ions or nutrients in and waste come out. This is why I say if you're going to detox, you detox properly, because your cell has to detox, not just your bowels and your liver. And I have a detox course on my website, which you'll see at the end of this, my website address. So you have to make sure the cell membrane is functional. So we're getting, how can I explain it? We're in a world where we're surrounded by EMF radiation. We're using chemicals for cleaning at home, chemicals on our face, in our hair, in our showers, in our home. Now these are giving the cell and the DNA the wrong information. So it can't make healthy cell if we continue to use these things. So for years I did deficiency therapies, and people were deficient, and I'd give them the nutrient that was deficient, and that created a healing environment for a short time. But it wasn't the real answer. We have to go a little bit further than just deficiency therapy, because we have these cell receptors that are actually, because we're using all these chemicals and we're surrounded by EMFs, these cell receptors are clogged or they're rusted, so they can't open. They can't open and shut, okay, to let the nutrients in. So the deeper remedy would be to clean the receptor sites, and then a lot of the deficiencies start to normalise, okay? So we don't... So treating deficiency therapy is one way to sell more supplements. And this is how we're trained, and this is how I was trained. But it goes deeper than that. The idea is not to sell supplements. The idea is to get the body working so that it creates the chemistry. So we clean the receptors. I had a client a couple of years ago. She went to the doctor and he said, "You're very low in vitamin D and iron, very low." And he said, "I need to put you on medication." She says, "No, you're not." "No, thanks." So she had a little bit of knowledge. So she started taking this special oil that cleaned her receptors, or the phenols, sesquiterpenes. They started cleaning her receptors. 6 weeks later, she went back to the doctor and her vitamin D was out of control. Well, it was really high. He said, "Well, you better cut back on what you're doing because your vitamin D is high." She never took a vitamin D supplement. So that's one example. I got a lot of examples, okay, but I'm just giving you one. So we need to clean the receptors. So whatever comes through the cell membrane is right or wrong information for your DNA, okay? Receptors, clean, number one. Now the next picture looks like a vanilla slice. All that white stuff there, that's fat. So we need the good fats for the cell membrane. 90% fat, and then you got proteins and glyconutrients. So a lot of times we're eating the wrong fats, too much meat and dairy and animal fats, and that oxidized, they will do more damage. So we need to eat the right fats like seeds, nuts, avocados, chia seeds, olives, virgin olive oil, coconut oil. And there is an omega-3 that I know of that they distill the mercury out. Now omega-3s, fish oils, beware. 99% of them are dangerous because they have mercury in them. And no one goes the extra mile to take that mercury out. But there is one that does that. So we need the good fats for the cell membrane and the nervous system, remember? The brain's 90% fat. Okay, so the cell membrane is the first port of call for information, or internally anyway. And then you've got the synapse, or the neuron, the nervous system, the nerve cells, the brain cells. They're sending out messages all the time through neurotransmitters, serotonin, melatonin, GABA, dopamine, etc., etc. So we need to have the nervous system working correctly, or the neurons, so that it can give the DNA, with the picture on the right information to make good cells. Now this is our downfall. We're not teaching this stuff. We're teaching, have a supplement and you'll be right. And sometimes supplements are definitely necessary. because we're not getting enough nutrients out of our soil. Okay, what other ways can we give the DNA the right or wrong information? Through the 5 senses. For instance, taste. If we're eating junk food, a lot of times it tastes good, but it's giving us a false impression, the false information. Okay? If we taste something bitter or sweet, unless it's directly from nature, or even supplements, synthetic supplements made in a lab, that's sending the wrong message to the DNA. Okay? When we're eating food directly from the garden, especially when the soil is very high in Brix reading, B-R-I-X, I got videos and articles on soil. You want to have a look at them on my website. When the Brix readings are high, the food tastes absolutely beautiful, and it's directly from nature, and that's giving the DNA the right information. And like I said, we're not in an ideal world, I know. Sometimes we have to buy food, unfortunately. But I'm just giving you information just to equip you. So what about hearing? You know, we're listening to error. We're listening to reading books that aren't even true. Novels. We're hearing the wrong type of music. I was a drummer in a rock band, so I really confused my senses for a long time. Rock music. I mean, it's very enjoyable, but it's not great for your frequency, for your DNA information. Now, the music, most of you remember the Sound of Music movie. I'm not sure, but I think that's when the music frequencies changed. She was teaching do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, right? Now, I have a video on sound therapy. Maybe you want to go and have a look at that. Because I'm not going to go into detail here, but the do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do was not the original frequency or not the original music. So they changed it from around the 1930s, 1940s. So that changes our frequency. Okay? So you've got the 528 megahertz, and there's other good frequencies. I've done videos on them. I'm not going to go into all that now. If you listen to the right frequencies, especially 528, to DNA repair, that is the good information. And then you got the 447 or 44 frequency is not the right frequency, like static, stuff like that. So there's a lot to learn about these sounds and industrial sounds, noise, TV noise, ads. You know, you notice on the ads, when the ads come on TV, the music goes up, and it's not even music half the time. Half the time it's noise in the background, and someone's talking, and then there's noise in the background. It's just not great for the DNA, for the frequency. And then you have sight. Well, sight's a big one. I'm a visual person. I like to learn. Like when I first started doing my course, you know, I was reading all this information and I didn't get it. I just didn't get it. And then the teachers started to show me, you know, real stuff, and I started to get some experience. Then I could see and understand what was going on. So we're watching TV, we're watching violence, we're watching porn, we're watching robberies, we're watching, you know, reading novels, reading things that aren't true. This is very important. for the DNA, the knowledge, the the information that the DNA is getting. So also smell. Smell is a big one. Now, a lot of times we smell flowers and essential oils, and 99% of essential oils are actually perfumes, which are, well, can I say toxic? So that information goes to the DNA. In the Garden of Eden, God put Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. Why? Because they were surrounded by beautiful smells, flowers, plants, and they were original and they were healthy. And then man tries to copy that through artificial oils. Now, so there are genuine oils, and they send the right message to the DNA to make good cells. More about that in a minute. So smell, because there's a little receptor up the top of the sinuses that takes the right smell or the wrong smell into the limbic system of the brain. So you want to make sure you're sniffing the right oils or medicines. And, just going out in nature, smelling the plants and the roses, beautiful. As long as they're not sprayed. If they're sprayed, you're going to get the wrong information. Now, what about touch? Now, touch, hugs and kisses and stuff like that from your family and close friends, bring on good endorphins. But there's bad touch as well. Like you wouldn't want to, grab a rose stem and, the thorns and the thistles on some plants, and you wouldn't want to put your hand on a stove and, pain and fighting and hitting and stuff like that. So there's good touch and bad touch as well, which sends a message. Also, we have water. There's information in water. Did you know that? For instance, water in nature used to be energized, living, spinning. Now, I've got water videos on my website. Please have a look at them, because I can't go in. Each topic here could take me an hour. So water has information. So you want it energized, living water. Just because you're drinking tank water, spring water, filtered water, bore water, it doesn't mean it's living water. Most of it's dead water. Okay, so energized water, it's moving. Have a look at my other videos on water on my website. That can give you good or bad information. Also, medicines. You've got good and bad medicines. You've got natural, totally natural medicines. But you've even got herbs that are actually dead, not completely dead, but low in frequency. If they're not grown in high bricks soil, high nutrition soil, they can be sending a wrong message to the DNA. Okay, so I'm not an idealist, but I'm just giving you this information to make you aware that everything you take is not really living. It's not giving the DNA the right information. And then you've got certain supplements that are totally alive, and they're sending the right information to the DNA. So it's something we've got to learn. This is not something you're going to grasp and go, oh, okay, well, this is alive and this is dead. And it's something you've got to learn. So I have about 20 or 25 videos on my website, so please have a look at them. I talk a lot about this frequency on there. Now, this is another important topic. Probably one of the most important things is every 4 months, 120 days, our cells split, right? So you look at the picture on the right there, one cell forms 2 cells and then it splits. This is called mitosis. Okay, mitosis splits the cells, divides the cells. Now this is interesting because mitosis works on sound therapy. Sound. Okay? If we haven't got the right sound, the cells will still split, but they will be damaged. Okay? So we need the right sound to get healthier cells. Every time your cells split, they can go downhill or they can get healthier. It's up to you what sound or what information you're giving your cells. Okay, well here's some sick cells. I mean, look, most of the population don't know anything about information therapy because it's not taught. And this is, the majority of people I see have sick cells because they're not getting the good information in there. Look at this one. You've got cells stacked like coins. In the background, you've got a lot of undigested fat, so the digestion's not working great. Hardly any oxygen, no electricity, no negative charge, because when there's a negative charge, the cells separate. This is all very important. And then on the right here, you've got cells looking like bottle tops. You know, getting the wrong fats, too much animal fat, dairy, meat, oxidized, even omega-6 plant oils, omega-6 cooking oils. There's only 2 oils I would ever use: virgin olive oil, that's a Bible oil, and coconut oil. You know, after I say that, people still come to me. I'm not criticising, it's just these are the only 2 oils I use. All the others are omega-6 and can cause this, as well as the animal fats, okay? And if this continues, this is oxidation, if this continues, this can cause cancer. So you want your cells looking nice and beautiful and round and smooth, not bottle top shape. And this is the dry blood. Now the one on the left, you have this poor person actually died. They were too far gone. So when you got big gaps in your cells like that, you got the big lake there, that is untold massive oxidation and inflammation. It was really hard to reverse. It was too far gone. So there is a point of no return, but most things can be helped. And the one on the right, this person has absolutely no protein digestion. A lot of us are talking about, oh, we get too much protein. Well, we might get too much protein, but it's not absorbing. So we need to fix the digestion or get the right information in there to make good proteins. That's what the RNA does. Now this one on the right here, now this is looking good. You got the red cells and you got the black fibrin. It's not perfect, but compared to these ones, it looks great. So this is 4 to 6 weeks after we started the music notes therapy, the notes, and the right information therapy. Okay, this is what happens. It changes the cells. And we did use the Bible oils. Now this one on the left, normally when you've got very low vitamin C and very low collagen, these cells are scattered everywhere. But you see, this was 4 weeks after this particular person was on a totally natural vitamin C and collagen. And you see the beautiful straight line on the end of the drop. That's how it should look. So this has happened quite a few times, not just once or twice. So this is a sort of thing that can happen when you feed your body the right information, the right nutrients. Now this is my blood, the one on the right. It was stressed because I was going through some stress at the time. It was very stressed because of a lot of the EMFs and radiation in the atmosphere, even in the country. So I'm out of town, but we still got EMFs everywhere. And 2 weeks after I plugged in a Blue Shield, this is how my cells looked. Beautiful, nice and round. Again, not perfect, but this is only 2 weeks after I plugged it in. Nice and round, separated. They're breathing. They have the negative charge, and you can even see a white blood cell there. So that's very good. So what are some of the solutions? So we got missing. This is the missing link of. This is a missing link of natural healing. You give your body the right information. Now we use a Blue Shield. Blue Shield is not a company, so I'm not pushing a company. But what we found is Blue Shield is the only device that works for EMF. And that's not coming from me. It's, if you go and watch my 2 videos on EMF on my website, there's heaps of researchers, independent researchers, that say Blue Shield is the only technology that works. Why? Because it doesn't try and block the EMF, because you can't block it. It's all around you. But you can change the atmosphere. It changes the atmosphere around you so that the DNA is receiving the right information to start healing your body. And there's proof. I've done about 5 or 6 people's blood after they installed one of these Blue Shields, and 100% success rate. They all change. The proof is in the blood, because if the cells don't change, I'm not interested in using it. And I've been doing this for 35 years, so I got an idea, because I had to throw a lot of these devices I bought over the last 20 years in the bin. They didn't work. So we need to change the scalar energy, because it's the millions of scalar frequencies in the atmosphere that are natural that we need. So what the EMFs do is they try and mimic nature, and they take one scalar energy, one scalar frequency, and that's disrupting all our cells. Okay, so we need to get EMF protection. That's one of the missing links. And then we need the music notes. There's only one brand of oil that I know that has all the music notes. Now, you can do your own research on this. We've done the research, and 99% of oils have 10 to 30 music notes the oils I use have all of them. You need all the musical notes, hundreds of them, 300 to 900 music notes to tune up the cells and to repair and to give that DNA the right information. Okay? So music notes are vital for healing. Monoterpenes are vital. Monoterpenes, these are present in some of the Bible oils. It's a cell programmer. Now, what's a programmer? Programming is information. So it's giving, monoterpenes are giving the cells information. So it's programming the cells. And sesquiterpenes is giving cells information too, but it's cleaning the cell receptor and it's deprogramming the false information. This is powerful. So we need these. These are the missing links. And then you got 528 hertz. It's sound and music therapy for the DNA. Then you have every frequency you're taking in, whether it's junk food, health food, alcohol, soft drinks, or just pure energized water, they've all got a different frequency. And when you put the right frequency in your body, that is information to the cell, to the DNA. Okay? Lanol, limonene, and there's hundreds of these music notes. We need those for information. And they're in a lot of these oils that we use. And we're getting great changes in cell function and cell shape, which is very important. Okay, well that was just touching the surface. I hope you sort of got that. Feel free to email me with any questions. Please have a look at my other videos on my website on here, www.lifestreamhealth.net.au, and God bless you.